Which stronghold anti-humidity gel is best for you? Today I'm putting two of my holy grail gels head to head, the Ouidad Advanced Climate Control Stronger Hold Gel and the AG Liquid Effects Gel. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Gina and here I make videos all about naturally curly hair. I love putting products to the test, talking about product ingredients, the science of hair, and really helping you problem solve. First, let's compare the consistency and the formulation differences between these two gels. They are both very, very similar, but have some slight differences in the ingredients. Both of them are a thin, liquid, clear gel. They both have high slip. They have a very smooth, slippery consistency that feels very moisturizing. When comparing the ingredients labels, both of them contain water as the first ingredient. They both have quite a few different humectants, including glycerin, which you don't have to be afraid of because both of these gels also contain polyquats, which are anti-humidity ingredients that are also conditioning and help to smooth damaged areas. They both also contain proteins to strengthen and help with moisture retention, and they both have the same flower extract, which helps with moisture retention, which I found that to be interesting. The only differences between the formulations that I saw was the Ouidad gel contains 2 oils and butters, such as shea butter and almond glycerides, where I don't see any oils or butters in the AG gel. The Ouidad gel contains 4 different polyquat ingredients, whereas the AG gel contains 1 polyquat ingredient. The other differences are the AG gel does contain 1 water-soluble silicone. I'm not too worried about it because silicones can actually really help in humidity, whereas the Ouidad gel is silicone-free. Now we're going to get into the actual application process. I'm doing the exact same routine with both gels. This is just my standard routine that I do where I usually start out with damp hair and I just mist it down with some water. And then I like to just brush the water through so that way my hair is evenly wet. I am going to be applying the gels in sections because I find that that gives me the most even coverage so that way I can make sure every strand is evenly coated for maximum definition and frizz control. We are going to be doing the humidity test as I mentioned, so I want to make sure that I'm getting it evenly distributed all over so that way I get more hold and longevity out of my hair. I'm also pretty heavy-handed when it comes to both of these gels because they're so thin in consistency. It really is hard to overdo it with them, which is great because I tend to be pretty heavy-handed. I made sure to use the exact same amount between both routines, so I usually go in with anywhere from a dime to a nickel size amount per section. I'm also doing some simple brush styling. I'm not really doing a ton of defining with the brush. I'm mainly just smoothing in horizontal sections. That way I can let the curl pattern just fall the way it naturally wants to versus doing vertical sections and really clumping the hair. I'm just trying to smooth everything out, prevent frizz, and also help to evenly distribute the gel, but I'm not applying a ton of tension, and I'll do this with the AG routine as well. If you're finding it impossible to get hold at either one of these gels, you might want to try your hair being a little bit more on the damp side, so a little bit drier compared to soaking wet. A lot of times if you have too much water in your hair or you have too much cream underneath, whether that's your curl cream, your leave-in conditioner, or even your conditioner if that's a super heavy one, that can really dilute the gel and cause it to have less hold. The more conditioning that's on your hair prior to applying your gel, the less hold your gel is going to give you. This is also why I wanted to test these gels by themselves. So I have nothing underneath of my hair, so no curl cream or leave-in conditioner. And I like to do this when I'm really trying to get a lot of hold or if I'm going to be in humidity, and I really am able to test the effectiveness of the gel by itself when I'm not using anything underneath. You'll also notice that I usually will take it all the way up to the root, and this helps me a lot with root frizz. I have some like new growth, and I'm sure there's some breakage in there too, and I just get a lot of flyaways. So I like to take the gel all the way up to the root, and it never weighs my hair down because I find these to be very lightweight. And so it's really great at helping me define the curls and also tame that frizz at the root without weighing it down. For the front section, I usually do a bit of finger coiling after I brush style because these pieces can be a little bit stubborn, and for face framing pieces, I like to just be a little bit more precise with it. Because these gels have so much slip, it makes it really easy to finger coil, and you can also brush style with them in. Some gels are just too thick and sticky to where it's really difficult to apply them first before you brush style, but with both of these, I can put them in my hair and then brush style afterwards, and there's plenty of slip. After styling, I just like to check the back to make sure the curl clump size is even and nothing is too clumped because I want to make sure I still get some volume. And then I'm going in and scrunching my hair with my hair repair towel. And this just helps soak up any excess water and any excess product to really speed up your dry time. And you'll notice that your curls will really shrink up too after doing this. Then I always go in with an extra light glaze of gel after microplopping. This is just to tame any frizz that might have popped up, and it adds a ton of extra hold. So if you're really struggling with getting hold when using either of these gels or with any of your gels, try going in with another layer after microplopping, because then you're applying your gel to hair that is starting to dry, and the drier your hair is, the more hold that you're going to get out of your gel, because water really does dilute gel. So I mainly just focus it on the areas that tend to get really frizzy for me, like the front section. Now I'm finished styling and I'm ready to diffuse my hair. So when I diffuse, I usually will diffuse upside down and then cup it, or I will just lean over my counter if I'm not in this particular filming setup. And this just helps prevent my hair from drying more elongated. I just kind of go around in sections by hovering, and then I wait for the gel cast to start to set. Not set completely, but to where I can start to feel the gel cast set a little bit. Then I will flip right side up and do some scrunch diffusing. Both of these gels form a nice cast on the hair, so I'm able to actually touch the diffuser to my hair and I don't get a bunch of frizz. If diffusing causes your hair to get frizz, even when implementing the right diffusing techniques that I've shared before, it could be because your gel doesn't have enough hold. If your gel doesn't have enough hold, it's not going to retain that shape, and the air is really going to blow your curls all over the place, even on low, and you can end up with a lot of frizz. So I'm able to do quite a bit of manipulation with the diffuser to my curls, even lift the roots up some, and it's not going to get really frizzy. Now that my hair is completely dry, let's assess the hold level in my hair before I scrunch out the crunch. So both of these provide a pretty strong cast, but it feels flexible and not brittle. The Ouidad one may have given slightly more of a cast, but both feel pretty firm. I also noticed that I have more shrinkage on the Ouidad side. As you can see, my hair looks a lot shorter right above my shoulders compared to the AG side. Now it's time for the ultimate hold and longevity test, which I like to call the strand test. I basically take the same hair and run my fingers down it and see how well that strand holds up. This will tell you if the curls are just going to break apart as you go about your day and as your hair rubs against things. And this will tell you too if the gel is actually going to help your curls last a lot longer. So the Ouidad side, I started to see a little bit of the curl break up, but it was actually because I had pulled some of the wrong hairs into this curl clump when I was styling. Some of those curls are a completely different pattern, so they didn't belong in that curl family. That happens sometimes. We can't be perfect with our sectioning. So I just separated it so that way I could get a better even test with these, and this works so much better. The AG side is starting to break up a little bit towards the end. This area of my hair definitely has some shorter hairs, and gel helps to keep those grouped into the same curl clump. So basically there's hairs in here that are not all the same length. Well, it seems as though the Ouidad side is able to hold that together to where those shorter hairs don't stick out and cause frizz compared to the AG side. It seems as though the Ouidad side retained a bit more of its cast and the AG side looks a little bit softer, but both look great. Also, both of these gels, you can just wrap any frizzy pieces around your finger with no water and no product, and they really do retain their shape and come back to normal. So I love that about both of these gels. Now I'm just fluffing and scrunching out the crunch so we can get an accurate picture of how well this hair holds up after you scrunch out the crunch. Both of these gels leave a very soft, flexible feeling on the hair. It feels very smooth. It feels very moisturized. Both of them look very moisturized. I might have slightly more shine on the Ouidad side compared to the AG, but overall both give great definition. I would say volume on both of these is probably low to medium, and that's mainly due to the strong hold nature of these gels and my higher coverage application technique. If I didn't brush the gel through and if I didn't apply in sections, I might get more volume out of these. I'm able to actually break up large curl clumps without frizz forming, so I'm able to get a lot more volume. And I've always said if your gel gets frizzy the second you scrunch out the crunch, then it's not a strong hold gel. And the reason that I say that is because these gels don't frizz up the moment you scrunch out the crunch. So that's why I have such high standards for gels. I tend to compare everything to both of these. Stay tuned because we're not done yet. We still have the next day hair results to compare and the humidity test. It is now day 2 after using the Ouidad gel. I did sleep with my bonnet on. I didn't do a super hard workout today. I just walked for about an hour and 20 minutes, but I had had my hair down. I didn't put it up or anything like that. And this is how it's looking. So I don't have to refresh this hair. The only thing I would do if I was trying to kind of refresh it is maybe put some oil on my hands and just kind of separate some of the large curl clumps. Curls clumping together is a sign of healthy curls, so it's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you do want more of an even shape and if you want more volume, you can go through and separate some of these. Overall, still looks really good, including the curl that we tested with the strand test. Y'all know that I ran my fingers down the strand multiple times, and here it is on day 2. It's still not even frizzy. The other thing I really like about this gel is the curls, since they do hold their shape, you can just use dry hands to kind of redefine them. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically, like for this one might need some water, but because it does have those film former ingredients, see how it kind of becomes more defined? Like there's nothing on my hands. My hands are completely dry, but you can almost just use dry hands to just touch up your curls. And a lot of times I will do that, or I will just kind of group any frizzy areas into a curl clump. So that's the nice thing about this gel. So no refresh, don't even really have to do anything, and I think it looks really good. Update on my day 2 hair after using the AG Liquid Effects. I feel like my results still look really great. I think I have slightly more frizz though compared to my day 2 with the Ouidad gel. I will be sure to compare them side by side so I can really get a good look, but I just feel like it's a little bit more frizzy, but not bad at all. Totally love my results for day 2 without refreshing. I have not added any water, no oil, anything to my hair. The only thing I've done is dry finger coiled a few pieces that were kind of sticking out and frizzy, like sort of just tucking in some frizz. Pretty much all of the curl clumps look really good, except for the ones around my face, like around the temple area. These are always really problematic for me. They rarely hold on to product. I think a lot of it is just like some new growth and stuff that it tends to look very stringy. So this is a little frizzy. This could easily be touched up with a little bit of gel and maybe not even water. The curl that we did the strand test on still looks really great. Only has a little bit of frizz on the end, but nothing major at all. Really happy with these results for day 2. Shrinkage still looks really good too. My curls haven't fallen or anything. They feel nice. They don't feel dry. They don't feel weighed down or producty. I don't have a ton of shine, which I usually don't have a lot of shine naturally. Like I have to add oil to really get a lot of shine to my hair, but not bad at all. Let me know what you guys think. And here's how my day 3 results look with the Ouidad gel, both before and after refreshing. I did a super minimal refresh. The things that I do to test products. I'm currently sitting on the floor of my bedroom beside my humidifier. This is a humidifier that I actually run all the time, but especially in the winter time when we have the heat on and it's really dry. So I will see how well the hair holds up under direct humidity like this. So my final update after being in humidity for over an hour and a half, this is how my curls are looking. So I sat under the humidifier for about an hour, and then I actually sat outside for about 30 minutes or so because it actually started raining. So that was the perfect time to really put it to the test. And I feel like it still looks really good. I definitely have more frizz than when I started with, but that's totally normal. You can't completely waterproof your hair, but the curl clumps, the curl definition, and the curl shape is still intact. So I'm definitely pleased with that. As long as my hair doesn't completely like turn into a ball of puff and I still have like defined curls, I'm totally happy with the gel and humidity. So really great results. You'll have to let me know what you think. And here are my day 3 results with the AG gel before and after refresh. My hair was super clumped, so I did have to separate some of the clumps when refreshing, which is why it looks a little bit stringier, but overall held up really great, especially for no refresh on day 2. So I'm back sitting beside the humidifier, but this time with the AG gel in my hair from day 3. So I refreshed this morning, and it's actually the end of the day, which is not the best test because I would have rather done this right after refreshing, just like I did with the Ouidad gel. However, I had plans today, so unfortunately I'm having to do this towards the end of the day. But my hair's actually been outside in super dry weather and a lot of wind today with the AG gel, so you're kind of getting to see how that holds up and still looks really good. It has fallen a lot flatter, which my hair usually does by the end of the day, especially on day 2 and day 3, but I want to still do the humidity test, even though it's like not apples to apples, but hopefully it'll still help. I live in Virginia and our weather is all over the place. We literally have a dry air, like a fire warning right now, when just 3 days ago when I did the Ouidad test, we had rain and super humid weather. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna get to test it in actual rain or humidity outside today, but this is the best we got. Here's how my hair looked after the humidity test. It's definitely a little bit frizzier, which is to be expected. I also had frizz after the Ouidad gel and humidity. It's a little stringy today. I was outside in a lot of wind today too, so For wind, dryness, and humidity, I think this looks pretty good. I could definitely fix this with refreshing if I wanted to stretch it to day 4. And here's the ultimate comparison after humidity between both gels. The biggest thing I noticed is the Ouidad one has a bit more shrinkage, which it did on wash day, so that makes sense, and it's a little bit more clumped compared to the AG gel, which is a little bit more stringy. But overall, I would say the frizz level is about the same between the two, and they both have been through quite a lot when it comes to weather. To summarize all of this and wrap it up, I want to help you decide which one is best for you because they are so similar. My results are very similar, but if I really had to break it down, I would say the Ouidad gel has a bit more hold and maybe slightly less volume compared to the AG gel. The Ouidad gel has a couple more moisturizing ingredients like shea butter in it, which could potentially make it a bit heavier for some people's hair types, like people who have very fine hair, whereas the AG gel seems a little bit more lightweight because it doesn't have any oils and butters in it. Now, both of them are a lightweight formula, but in terms of the moisture content, it seems like the AG one might be a little bit lighter. I also notice a little bit more frizz with the AG gel, and the cast doesn't stay quite as long with the AG gel, but they're very close. The other biggest difference obviously would be the amount of polyquats in them, which are the humidity blocking ingredients. The Ouidad gel has 4 of them, whereas the AG gel only has 1. And from my experience, the more polyquats, the better if you're dealing with high humidity. On the other hand, the AG gel does have the 1 silicone in it, which is also said to help with humidity. Silicones and polyquats are very similar, but both hold up pretty good in humidity. So I will have all these products linked in the description box down below. Let me know which products you want me to compare next. I've been keeping a running list of some products that are very similar, maybe even some products that are different but give you similar results. Definitely let me know what you would like to see me compare. If you still need more help with picking products, I recommend checking out the shop page on my blog because you can filter by so many different things over there. So if you want a medium hold gel or a strong hold gel, or maybe you definitely want polyquats or you don't want glycerin, there's a filter for almost everything on my blog, so I'll have that shop page listed down below. For more help with refreshing, I recommend checking out the minimal refreshing routine that I posted actually using the AG liquid effect, so you can see how I refresh my curls on days when I do need to refresh and how I keep refreshing much easier and not such a pain. So I hope you find that video helpful. It will be linked right here on the screen, and I will talk to you over there. Bye everyone.